The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it's time for a Thursday edition of Mick Shots inside the SWBC podcast studio here at the Star in Frisco. Just days away from Cowboys Cardinals and even fewer days away, like only 1.5 days away from a new year. And I'm Bill Jones with Mickey Spagnola, and we're trying to get Everson Walls on the show. At least we'll have him via telephone here shortly, but we appreciate you joining us. And the Cowboys out on the practice field today in shells.
And it says here on today's pool report for the practice, outdoors sunny with shells and helmets. And it is sunny. It's almost 70 degrees after the day started off this morning when I woke up at 7 at 46 degrees.
It was a little cooler this morning.
Yes, it was.
It was, yes. And by the way, for those of you who are headed to town for the game on Sunday, if you're coming from out of town and you haven't looked at the forecast yet, make sure you bundle up because it is going to be very cold here.
And even though there's a roof on the stadium, the last time this happened, I saw people going to the game, and I'm going, yeah, it's okay to wear just like a jersey, but you got to get to the game.
That's exactly right.
You got to get inside
and
first.
as you know, if you've been to AT&T Stadium, for most of you, it will be a hike into the stadium.
And that goes for the game on Friday afternoon, too. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there is one.
That's what I thought
I think we have someone on the phone line now.
Do we?
Everson Walls is joining us, old school style, via telephone.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
I'm so sorry, guys. I am so popular these days. I'm so busy. I just, I'm spreading myself a little thin here, and I just thought I'd give you guys just a little piece of me, that I have left.
Well, there's been technical difficulties all day here, starting with Mike McCarthy's press conference this morning, when he couldn't hear us and we couldn't hear him. So it was a failure to communicate for about 15 minutes.
One of the second to last day of the year and one of the best days of the year for Mike McCarthy.
Yes.
He couldn't hear the media.
I think he liked it like that.
Yeah, I think he did too.
That's right.
He could just ramble on.
Mickey just alluded to it. Everson, are you aware when the college football playoff games are this year?
That's December 31st, right?
That's right. That would be tomorrow. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
At AT&T Stadium. We've got Alabama versus Cincinnati, and the Orange Bowl, the night game at 6:30 is Georgia and Michigan.
I got to say, I'm a little disappointed. I was kind of busy yesterday. I did not get to see the Oklahoma game, Bill.
I don't think you missed anything. What did the final score?
It was 47-32.
Okay,
they reverted back.
32.
They reverted back to the old defense in the second
when it was
half.
like 30-3.
It was 30-3 at halftime.
I gave up.
What's that?
Stoops is back. With Stoops being back, of course.
That's right.
Back. That old defense, yeah.
Well, so it was almost like a microcosm. It was a microcosm of his time at Oklahoma. In his second year there, they won a national championship, and they played great defense with Roy Williams leading the charge.
Yes.
Beat Florida State in the national championship game. Really was a shutout. It was 13-2. They took a late safety, and so they played great defense in the first half of last night's game. They were up 30-3, and in the second half, it was like the last decade of Bob Stoops football at Oklahoma. After he let Brent Venables go to Clemson, and Clemson became a great defensive team.
I wonder if
they had an interesting stat. If they're in the hunt for the national championship, they are like 0-3, 0-4. But when you're just talking about non I guess non-tournament bowl games.
Right.
They've been kicking butt. Yeah.
Early on in his time there, he was known as Big Game Bob, and the only bowl games that he won after winning that national championship were the games that didn't matter, the exhibition games. Really.
I wonder if Venables in the second half said, "Okay, here, I got this. Okay, let me take over."
Now,
right
Venables'
now.
old Clemson team played some pretty good defense yesterday against Iowa State.
That was a pretty good game too.
Yeah. So
No, I got to say, the worst Oklahoma loss for me was Boise State.
yeah, oh yeah, Statue of Liberty.
They had the Statue of Liberty and then a freaking proposal.
Hook and ladder. Yeah.
And
the proposal after the game. That's right.
Yeah, man. Everybody wants to see all that.
And that was actually
Was that Kellen Moore's
No,
game?
I was going to say that was actually before Kellen Moore was the quarterback. Kellen Moore became the quarterback there right after that.
Right after.
That one got put Boise on the map. It was a Fiesta Bowl game. And, as an Oklahoma fan, it's one of those you roll your eyes out at because there were opt-outs on the OU team. Okay, have your fun at our expense. But that's a memorable game. Here we are 15, 16 years later. Yeah.
They went for every trick play possible.
That's right.
In that game.
That's why I was hoping last night that Stoops would call a Statue of Liberty and a hook and lateral and a fake field goal, just for old time's sake.
It's not Boise, so it don't hurt as much.
See, that's what I wanted to go tell Army, by the way, in the Military Bowl.
Yeah.
Missouri was without 7 starters, a bunch on the offensive line.
Well,
and both running backs.
And we're getting to get to Cowboys, but we do have a national semifinal at the stadium tomorrow. So one more little comment on this college football playoff. And the reason off the top, Everson, I asked you when are the games. I don't know that a lot of people know when these games are, and that's more than any other reason is
2:30.
why you got to go to at least an 8-team college football playoff, because for the last month nobody's been talking about this college football playoff unless your team is involved in it. Nobody cares until they kick off, and then they have it on New Year's Eve. I thought they got horrible TV ratings on New Year's Eve.
Well,
and yet they scheduled it anyway.
Maybe that's why the second game starts at 6:30, so it'll be over
everybody can get to their
before
parties.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that's
parties.
right.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. When we walked in here, the practice report, the pool report, was hot off the presses. So let me catch you up on the Cowboys' practice today. They were in shells, outdoors, helmets. One guy was missing from practice, Quentin Bohanna. Only guy on the active roster, was not participating in practice. We haven't heard yet why. So we can assume one of two things. Either he had an illness, he had a virus, or maybe 3 things, or he had a real injury, right? So we'll see where that one goes. But Tristan Hill, good thing, is back practicing. So the defensive tackle position will at least have like 3 or 4 guys that can play in there since they lost Hamilton. Did you know that? Justin Hamilton got signed off the practice squad.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, and they liked him. I mean, they elevated him several times.
Right.
To help out, and he did all right.
Who signed him? Denver. Okay.
Yeah, this is when teams that are looking to next year.
That's
you start
right.
raiding people's practice squads.
Right.
I was going to say, they can't do anything this year in Denver.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why Kamara wound up with the Carolina that picked him up a week or so ago.
Yes, it was Carolina. That's why I was
I did
Carolina.
not notice someone picked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is the time you poach, and the Cowboys were trying to get him to the practice squad, and it didn't happen. And I knew as soon as they released him that he wasn't going to get there.
And when they poached him, there was 3 games left, and you have to keep him on the 53 for 3 games. So basically, when the season ends, they'll still have his rights, and they can claim him as an exclusive rights free agent. So, they can't get him back. Okay, so also Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, they all spent time on the cords as they have been for the last couple of weeks with Britt Brown. All 3 guys yesterday that were limited, Tyron Smith, Malik Turner, and DeMarcus Lawrence, were in practice. And Jordan Lewis, who was on reserve COVID-19, was at practice, and he was activated off the the reserve list, so that bodes well for him being available for the game. And I saw one interesting note, and I'm trying to see where I wrote it down. It was on the practice report for yesterday. And, for the Arizona Cardinals, on their practice report yesterday, they had 9 guys that didn't practice, including their starting safety, Bubba Baker.
Buda Baker.
Bubba. The D's look like B's, right? I know it was.
That's back in the day, man. You bringing up Bubba Baker.
And their running back, James Conner, did not practice.
What's going on with him, Spag? That's legitimate stuff.
Yeah,
right there.
he's a Pro Bowler.
He has a heel problem.
Did you tell me how many touchdowns he's got this year?
Yeah, like 14.
14 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns.
That's why he made the Pro Bowl.
And yeah, because his yards, he's only got 700 yards and averaging under 4 yards a carry.
Zeke's going to end up rushing for 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? He's got 10, 12 touchdowns. I think he's got. I just looked it up because he's got 2 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah, but the Pro Bowl voting takes place in November, so.
Yeah, that's the fan voting. I know you're being facetious. I'll help you out there. Where's my totals? I want to say Zeke was at. I got it.
You know, I think Connor is one of those guys. I think I've mentioned this earlier in the year about just his story is amazing.
And I think that's why he got so many votes. So Zeke has 10 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns. So he's got 12, and he's at 899 yards rushing.
It's going to have to be a pretty damn good year for Zeke Elliott. I'm sorry.
Considering, right?
Yes.
And he's averaging over 4 yards a carry.
He's over 4 yards a carry. I remember they were dogging him about how he has no burst, he can't get anything done. I mean, that's turning out to be a pretty good average as well.
And Connor's average was 3.7, by the way. Zeke is at 4.3. So, yeah.
That average is fine.
3.7?
No, 4.3.
Yeah, 4.3. Absolutely. And the other thing on the Arizona Cardinals, their leading sacker, or leader in sacks, however you want to put it, Marcus Golden is on COVID reserve as of yesterday. So we'll see if he gets back. He leads the team with 11 sacks, 19 quarterback hits. Those are the kind of defensive ends you get out of the University of Missouri.
That's right. And I think he went on. I think it was Monday that Golden
when was the
tested positive.
It was in the paper on the 28th.
Yeah, so that's Tuesday. So Monday the 27th. So he's got a shot at getting back for Sunday then with the new rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just interesting looking at Arizona and how their season has taken a U-turn from where it was after 7 games, going from 7-0 until now they're 10-5, so they're 3-5 their last 8 games.
They're almost the opposite of what we were talking about Miami, which lost their first 7. These guys won their first 7 and 3-5, but I think 3 of those 8 games, Kyler Murray was out. Right?
Yeah, but they won 2 of those with Colt McCoy as a backup.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe they need to start Colt McCoy.
And so I've just been looking at them, trying to figure out, okay, where have things gone haywire for them? And of course, Everson, one of the big things is the loss of DeAndre Hopkins. When you lose a weapon like that, it's going to affect things offensively.
I just let you know how important he is to that team, because once they lost him, they have not been the same team. And it's been a domino effect like anything else. They can't score, so therefore there's more pressure on the defense. And this defense was highly touted early in the season until the offensive weapons started to go away. And so, they're looking, everyone has the same excuses all year long. We have all hit that personnel shortage. We've all had that come down the pike in every organization. And so this one makes me nervous. I want to know what the players are doing to really just stay out of COVID's way. because you can go home to your family. But it's different when you go home to your family now. Let's say you got kids in school, right? Kids come home. I mean, what are we doing? Are we isolating from our kids, as players? Because right now, this is the most important part of the season. And I just want to know, do players and families, are they taking extra precautions? And how is that affecting their family lives? Because, we talk about spreading COVID and how important it is right now for people to be ready to play ball going down to the playoffs. You don't want to be that guy that gets COVID at the wrong time, especially if you're a quarterback or a star player. This stuff here, man, it's past what you're doing on the field. This is going towards what you're doing off the field. And these guys are, losing some precious time during a precious time of the season.
That's why I said yesterday, the Omni, especially for Dak, they need to shrink wrap them, like you do whatever when you put it in the freezer. And chain him into his room. Don't let him out. Well, here's the other thing.
Carson Wentz is out.
It looks like it, although he has a chance to get back in time.
Right. With the day after it came out that Wentz, had tested positive, and the rules there for an unvaccinated player was that he had to sit for 10 days. Well, the CDC that very same day, across the board, the guidelines went from 10 days to 5 days, and the NFL adopted it, and the Players Association agreed to it the next day. And so Wentz actually has a chance to play this week, I guess, now.
See, and that's why the good thing was for the Cowboys, when Everson, you were talking about, their family and friends or whatever, but the Cowboys were going to allow family and friends to come in and get tested at least. Now, you're probably not staying away from them. And then the other factor in there is not everybody's got a family, so guys are getting out, and they just need not to do it.
This is the time where all of that social stuff, and that's why the bubble was so good for the NBA and allowed them to go through with, just a small percentage of positive testing at the time. I think we need to take that bubble mentality home with us, especially this time of year. And I know it's tough, holidays and all of that, but man, let's just be real. Holidays are one thing, but this is your money. This is your job. You know what I mean? So, family is very important. You can still be with family, but everyone under that roof at your home, they should be aware of how delicate a time this is for everyone in the NFL.
Okay, Everson, let me take you back to 23-year-old Everson Walls. I remember 23-year-old Bill Jones, okay? And when I'd come home to Dallas and that Greenville Avenue over there,
Lower Greenville. Yeah, man.
and we went there, especially over the holidays. And so look back in your time capsule way back 40 years ago.
23 years old. Yeah. 23 years old. I was just about to sign my bigger contract. Still living at home with Mom, by the way. Yeah, still living in Hamilton Park at 23 years old. Still sleeping in my childhood bedroom. I would have been all over Hamilton Park having a ball. I mean, come on.
So how tough is it for these guys that are 1-2 years out of college, they're 23 years old, to keep them
living in Dallas, Texas.
And living in Dallas and not
I just remember the interview they did with Charlie Waters. It was a couple years ago, and Charlie gets here. He's playing for the Cowboys. He's 23, 24 years old. And this is the early 70s, by the way, in Dallas, Texas.
Love Charlie. They love
and Charlie basically
with no shirt on and everything. Yeah.
Charlie basically said, if I hadn't gotten married, I think I'd have killed myself. Because he was having so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the thing about me. What the good thing was, I had Sherelle. I grew up with Sherelle, my wife. So we were always, we're in the same neighborhood. I think really living home with Mom and being with Sherelle, I think they would have kind of put a kibosh on a lot of the stuff that I would have wanted to do.
Like talk some sense into you, right?
So you had a good support system around you.
Yeah, I would have been blessed with a support system. But I know that's not everybody. That's a unique situation, no doubt. No doubt. Very unique.
All right, we're just getting started on this edition of Mix Shots, and we will continue in just a moment.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? Pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Back to Mix Shots.
Hey, Cowboys Nation, head to the Pro Shop to step your game up for the playoffs. Score classics like jerseys, tees, and hats, plus exclusive collections and unique accessories when you visit your local Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience. And it sounds like they might have something that says clinched, meaning...
clinched the division.
So there's a header here. It says Pro Shop clinched, and then in the read, it doesn't say anything about clinched. But I'm guessing they got something special
There's something there. Okay, good.
So step up your game for the playoffs.
All right, very good. And let's see, where do you want to go next here, Mickey?
I've got an interesting stat I just kind of stumbled into because somebody asked me a question about if you're looking at the Cowboys' defense, what concerns you? And I said, I still am concerned about them giving up big plays because even though they basically shut down Washington, I think they stopped them with like 284 yards total offense.
It was Washington.
It was Washington. But they had 3 plays, so 57, I think it was 57 snaps for 284, something like that. They had 3 plays for 100 yards. So 54 plays, they only gave up 100 and something, right? So the Cowboys' downfall on defense, if they're not getting takeaways, is they keep giving up big plays. So I looked in the stats, and the Cowboys have given up 56 plays of pass plays of at least 20 yards, right? And I was thinking, well, just a little bit I've watched Arizona, they seem to produce a lot of big plays. Like Kyler Murray loves just throwing the ball down the field, deep, high, 50-50 balls, but they complete them. Well, if the Cowboys have given up 55 plays of 20 yards or more, Arizona has 56 plays of 20 yards or more. And get this, of that 56, 24 of them are for more than 30 yards. So 42% of those passes are more than 30 yards downfield. That tells me that that Cowboys defensive front better have a good game against the Arizona offensive line, because they will get the ball down the field. And I know they don't have Hopkins, but they do have Christian Kirk, who's turned into basically their leading receiver. And I went back and looked, and we should never go back to look at last year, right? The defense was so poor, so poorly coordinated. But in that game that the Cowboys got beat 38-10, Christian Kirk caught 2 passes. One, a 6-yard touchdown pass. The other, an 80-yard touchdown pass. And Kenyon Drake, who I don't think's there with the Cardinals anymore, had a 69-yard touchdown run. So there's 21 of their 38 points on 3 plays, big plays, or at least 2 big plays.
Do you remember Dearness Johnson?
Dearness Johnson. I do not.
Cleveland running back that ran all over that defense last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Everybody, as you said off the top there, everybody was doing it last year.
Right.
That's what makes this intriguing. And Everson, what I'm looking forward to is Micah Parsons against this Arizona offense. And Micah was asked about Kyler Murray and what a different animal Kyler is. Is he a cheetah? Is that what he is?
He called him a cheetah. And he basically said, he said in the cheetah will outrun the lion, but the lions run in packs. And when you have more lions, you can stop the cheetah.
That's right. That's right. Loving that.
That's the matchup I'm looking forward to.
That's the answer right there. There's always one cheetah, but you got a bunch of lions.
So somebody asked him, where do you get all this information on the animals? And he said, I watch the Animal Channel a lot.
Hey, who didn't, right? I mean, come on. Who doesn't watch the Animal Channel?
Last week it was the gazelle, right? The lion will get the gazelle because we go in packs. Well, now he can get the cheetah in packs, too.
The cheetah is always alone.
He's
the lion
amazing.
always runs in the pack. I watch that stuff, too, now, guys. I love it. And by the way, they talked about Kyler Murray. I was looking at the Arizona website, Arizona Cardinals website. They talked about Kyler Murray probably at the top of many publications list as probably the best high school player in history. The best football.
You probably wouldn't get many arguments with people around here since he went undefeated.
I tell you guys all the time, I was there for several of his playoff games. And, boy, I swear, I'm not impressed much in that manner. This guy, I knew he would be special. And when he went to A&M, I was wondering what the heck was taking so long, for people to realize just how good this guy is. And they actually put some doubt out there in his ability because no one would really play him. They wouldn't play him. Mm-hmm. And finally, he got his shot. And
he transfers, and that was back in the old days where a quarterback had to sit out a year.
Yeah.
And then he's backing up Baker Mayfield, and going into that, he didn't even take part in. He was playing summer baseball, and he's playing in the springtime. He was playing baseball on the OU baseball team, and as you'll remember, everybody knows the story now, but maybe some have forgotten. He was the 9th overall pick of the Oakland A's in the baseball draft, and that was before he stepped on the field to do anything at Oklahoma. I mean, going into that Heisman Trophy winning season at OU. Yeah. Everyone thought, he's going, after this season, he's going to be playing Major League Baseball. Or not Major League, but he'd be signing with the A's. And then he got his opportunity, and obviously he made the most of it to the point that, 6 months later, he's the number 1 overall pick of the Arizona Cardinals. And when you think about it, it was Cliff Kingsbury. Kyler Murray is the reason Cliff Kingsbury got that job with the Arizona Cardinals, really. Because he went in, when he interviewed for that job, he went in there because he was going to be the USC offensive coordinator, already hired there at USC after being fired at Texas Tech. And he went in there, and I guarantee you, he told those Arizona Cardinals, the front office staff and ownership, that we draft this guy, and we can do this. And sure enough, it's panned out that way. And, of course, he had skins on the wall because he was the guy that coached Patrick Mahomes, and Mahomes had just done what he had done with the Kansas City Chiefs after getting his opportunity.
So if you go back to last year's game, he was only against the Cowboys 9 of 24 for 188 yards, but 2 touchdowns. I've told you the 2 touchdowns, right? So 1 pass, 8 completions he had for 108 yards, and then 1 completion for 80 yards, which was a touchdown. He ended up with only 1 sack and a 93.8 quarterback rating. So they kind of controlled him.
He makes everything so shiny and bright. You know what I mean? Even though he may not do anything on that play. It used to be like Fran Tarkenton, Bill.
Yep.
You know, he would scramble. I mean, he would scramble 50 yards and complete a 5-yard route.
And that, yeah, and that's why you talk about watching him in high school. He's a terrific passer and everything. But it was that speed on the field that high school kids couldn't catch him. College kids couldn't catch him. NFL players can't catch him on the field, and it just sets him apart from others. Now, Everson, do you know Kevin Murray, Kyler's dad?
I do not. But
okay, but Kevin,
I'm adjacent to him. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, and Kevin was a great quarterback coming out of North Dallas High School. Went to Texas A&M, and of course broke his ankle. And
I still remember that picture, Bill.
That's right.
I still remember that picture. They showed it in a still shot, of course, on the cover of Sports Magazine. That was crazy.
Yeah.
On the cover of Sports.
Yeah, and then of course. Kevin's uncle Calvin Murray was a great baseball player for a national champion team at Texas, and played and made it to the big leagues. And
so to accentuate what you were talking about, his speed and ability to run, while he didn't hurt the Cowboys that bad throwing the ball, he had 10 carries for 74 yards.
There you go.
Yep. And a touchdown.
There you go.
So that's what you got to be able to worry about.
But let me get back, guys. I kind of got off track because I wanted to talk about giving up the big plays because, hey, my rookie year, I ain't going to lie, that was kind of my forte. But we had, as a unit, I brag about our numbers, and I always try to compare this group to ours because we have the exciting front line, we have the exciting playmaking defense, but we did give up too many big plays, especially early on in the year. Now, as we went into the playoffs, that all changed. We weren't rookies anymore, and we didn't play like rookies anymore. We gave up fewer big plays. We became a more solid defense throughout that playoff, and that's including the San Francisco game. Our defense was very good, and our third down defense was always the best in the NFL. And that, to me, reminds us so much of this team. So, to me, as we're getting closer to the playoffs, these guys are looking better, just like we did. Okay, they're looking better. I look forward to them being more solid, Spags. And I don't know what those last 4 numbers, those last 4 weeks look like in regards to your big play numbers. But I dare say that they're probably diminishing. And everything's looking a bit more solid because that's the pattern that you want going into this stretch of plays throughout the playoffs.
So I bet I can look those up for you real quick.
And that's the thing, because even in the San Francisco game, we held them down very well. You know, the last drive just got us on both sides. And so, you know, you're looking at you were looking at solid numbers going out throughout those playoffs. I think we killed Tampa and then had Joe Montana on the ropes until the last drive. So those things you can hang your hat on, I believe. They're looking better, and I think they've become more familiar with each other as a unit.
So in the Vegas game, Thanksgiving Day, they gave up 20 plays of 20 yards or more, run or pass. 8 plays. 8 plays of 20 yards or more.
Oh, that was
wasn't 20.
Do what now? Did I say it backwards?
I thought you said they gave up 20 plays of 20 yards or more.
No.
Okay.
8 plays.
I was going to say that.
8 plays of 20 yards or more.
My jaw
But
dropped.
look, check this out, though.
I knew it was bad. I knew it was that bad.
I knew it was bad. But like, damn, is that bad? Jeez.
Well, here's how bad it was, because the pass plays were 56, 31, 35, 54, and 30. Okay? Now, since that, in New Orleans,
Taysom Hill.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays total, run pass, and then
Of how many yards?
At least 20 yards. And then Washington, the first time around, won. They did this. It should be Giants. The next game was the Giants.
Mike Glennon.
Just 1, 2, 3. And then Washington again.
Taylor Heineke.
1, 2, 3. So Derek Carr, Heineke, Glennon, and Heineke again.
Taysom Hill
right?
was in there too.
Yeah, and Taysom Hill.
Yeah, and injured with a broken finger. And now we got Kyler Murray. And by the way, Kyler Murray's last 4 games since coming back from his injury where he missed 3 games, how many touchdown passes does Kyler Murray have in his last 4 games?
3.
Close. 4. He's got 4 touchdown passes in the last 4 games. How many touchdown passes did Dak Prescott have in the first 2 quarters the other night?
Played 4. Yeah.
He did have 4. That's right.
And,
All right.
And not to bring up another horror story from last year, but in that game against Arizona, they ran 35 times for, take a guess.
369 yards.
Close. 261.
Okay.
You know, Bill just came up with 369. That's all he did.
261.
Wow. All right. We got, you know what, Everson? We don't have a show tomorrow. So you know what's coming up next? It's our picks to click, and who's going to win on Sunday when the Cowboys play the Cardinals.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Back to Mick Shots.
Get the ultimate fan experience for the ultimate Cowboys fan. Join Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, starting at just $20. Join now and get your fan pack, exclusive benefits, and more. Visit DallasCowboys.com/United for details. And hey, join today. And it's a good thing I looked at today was Thursday, because on my reads here, there was a Friday, and I was thinking, okay, this is the last one. I'll just read those. And it's like, oh, no, that's Friday, and we're not doing Friday.
Nope, we're not. It's New Year's Eve holiday, and so that means we're making our picks right now for the Cowboys and the Cardinals. Everson Walls, what you got this week?
All right, guys. I think it's pretty easy for me. As far as the score is concerned, I think this is going to be a really exciting game on both sides. You got playmakers on both sides. Even without D-Hop being with the Cardinals, they still have a good squad. I think they'll come in with a lot of pride, and they need this game, guys. They're going to pull out all stops. That's not like they're just going to come in, wounded and feeling sorry for themselves. They're going to come in pretty hopped up and ready to go. So I'm looking at a close game. I think the Cowboys' offense is going to be real strong. So we should get back into the 30s. I'm looking at a 31-21 game. Okay, Dallas Cowboys winning that. And, I think my record's going to fall. Everyone acts like it's fallen already. Hey, man, I'm sorry, man. That was 40 years strong. Yeah, I'm still there, brother. Hold on. Let's just relax. But I look for him to get one tomorrow. We talked earlier about 50-50 balls. They're going to try him. They really are. I think he's going to be ready for them. So, yeah, one pick for Diggs, 31-21 Cowboys.
I wonder if they give him Christian Kirk. Like he goes wherever Christian Kirk goes.
Oh, I think it'll be...
Or they play it straight.
I think they'll play it
straight up.
Yeah.
I do too,
they got
guys.
A.J. Green,
Yeah, that's true. Although you never know which A.J. Green you're going to get.
Yeah,
right,
man.
exactly.
That guy's weird this shit. Yeah,
yep.
So, to...
Zach Ertz. Don't forget Zach Ertz, too.
Yeah, well, that's true, too.
Oh, man.
Mike McCarthy basically said, this is going to be a playoff-type game. I mean, we both need this game, and I think we'll see that on Sunday afternoon. He also said that Cardinals' urgency will be high. They've lost 3 straight. They need to win to keep up with or at least stay close to the Rams on their heels for the division title. So I am going to go with Cowboys 27, the Cardinals 23. And my pick to click is going to be the Lionbacker.
There you go.
Lionbacker. Micah Parsons.
Hey, did we get a little priority on that term? Didn't we come up with that?
Yeah, we did. And I saw somebody.
I think Nick Eatman had something to say about it, too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I think he. I saw a tweet that.
We must have tied. We didn't make it as public, I guess.
Okay.
Although it was in my column. I guarantee I used Lionbacker.
Excellent.
I love it.
So you're up.
All right. I think J-Ron Kearse needs some love. And so I'm going to go with Kearse. I'm going to go with Kearse.
You're going to shut down Ernst?
If he doesn't shut him down, he'll have an impact.
Okay.
And so how about a pick? I'll go with a J-Ron Kearse pick this week.
All right.
Now will Parsons get to Javon Kearse's NFL rookie record? It's the other question, though.
His uncle.
Yeah, his uncle. Parsons has 13 sacks,
He needs one
and the
more.
record is 14.5.
Yeah, right. Funny.
Is he going to get it this game?
I think
Parsons?
he gets one for sure.
He will get Murray.
He's going to get to 14.
I think he will get Murray too. Now, you got Mahomes. And this is. Parsons is. We've already seen early in his career. He's prime for the cheetahs, for the top guys on the other side.
Can we just get a showdown? Him running and Parsons running after him, and see who wins the race.
That's the matchup that I can't wait for. And then as far as the score, I'll go 30-20 Cowboys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're too close to me, Bill. See. No,
oh, yeah, you went 31-21? All right, I'll change mine. I'll go 45-17 Cowboys.
45-17.
Hey, could happen.
In defense, you believe. Huh?
I had them 56-14 last week, so maybe they'll 45. I did have them 52-7, I think, the week before. So.
Yes, you did. You were just a week off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's a good thing we're here to keep him straight. You know?
All right.
That's right.
So, and who wins the game? Well, the game tomorrow afternoon kicks off 24 hours from right now. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl, the Alabama Crimson Tide against the Bearcats of Cincinnati. Who wins that game? Alabama is a 13.5-point favorite.
My.
I think that's good. I think that's accurate. Yeah.
I think Trayvon will be very happy with the results.
I do too. That quarterback, I mean, you got to have a quarterback that can get you out of trouble and not put your defense in trouble. I think they have that.
Yeah, Bryce Young has played well.
Yeah.
Have the Cowboys ever had a football player from Cincinnati?
They did cornerback. They drafted him, and I can't remember his name. It was.
Oh, and you didn't bring your book with you.
07 or Mickens.
I remember that name. Yeah. Oh, you do have it. Okay, we can't leave until we see this.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
6 players, actually.
6 players from Cincinnati.
From Cincinnati.
Wow.
Yeah, how many from Missouri? That's the question.
Oh, it's at least a dozen.
What year was that?
You want me to start naming them?
9.
Yes, sir.
9.
9 from Missouri.
How about that?
I got to find
How many
one.
from Grambling, Chris?
One.
Hold on a second.
Not you.
2. It's 2.
Just look up the.
Oh, what? You not a draft pick from Grambling?
Don't they list
3.
Yeah.
There's 3.
Yeah. They don't list them by team.
They do by team. It's by team. Grambling.
Damn. Grambling got 3?
3. Yeah.
Wow.
You're on the wrong page.
I want to look at it my way.
Cowboys
I want to do it
all-time
my
draft
way.
by college. That's what I.
All right,
Mike Mickens. It was Mike Mickens, who was a 7th-round draft pick in 2009, the ill-fated 2009 draft class. That's why no one remembers.
So he didn't
Mike
make the team,
Mickens.
did
No,
he?
he did not make the team.
So who else?
Oh, whoa. They also drafted in that same draft D'Angelo Smith in the 5th round out of Cincinnati. So 2 out of that 2009
So the
draft
scout
class.
that was working Cincinnati got his way.
it missed on both of them.
You know, if you look at the list by colleges, you'd do it a little faster.
I thought I got there pretty fast that way.
Well, you're lucky you remembered the year.
Well, I knew it wasn't a good draft pick. So if it wasn't a good draft pick in Cowboys history, start with 2009.
Oh, my God.
Go.
Was it Bum?
Wade, yeah.
I mean, Wade. I'm sorry, Wade. Not
Wade was the
Bum, but Wade.
coach, yeah.
In 09.
Yeah, in 09. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they traded.
So
down.
I got Alabama and Georgia in the national championship game.
Yep, me too.
Okay. You going to go out on that limb?
Yeah, I'll take Cincinnati and Michigan.
No, they're going to go. It's going to be out. Georgia's going to beat them this time, guys. I think.
And Georgia beats Alabama. I mean, we got time to make that pick.
I think so. That defense might finally do something. They might finally do something.
All right.
What's Cincinnati? The Bearcats?
Yes, they're the
Bearcats.
Yeah.
You act like they're.
Before, haven't you?
No, I'm thinking. Were they always, or did they have another nickname and they changed it? Were they always the Bearcats?
You mean like a racist nickname?
Racist.
Is that your way of saying it? Yeah.
Everybody's changed their nicknames, right?
Yeah. No, not only if they had to. Yeah, only if they had to.
All right, I'm looking it up.
Bill, by the way, 15 from Oklahoma.
15 from Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, that's I can see that.
All right, I am checking them on Bearcats here. University of Cincinnati.
And that's the 4th most on.
4th most?
Yeah, of any school.
Wow. Isn't that something?
So were one of the West Coast teams the most?
One of them is.
Southern Cal or UCLA?
UCLA, Mick.
Yeah.
You know how Cincinnati got the nickname Bearcats?
Yeah, because there's no Bearcats in Ohio.
What is a Bearcat?
I have no idea.
I don't think there.
Then how do you know they're in Ohio?
Thing? Is it such a thing? I thought they just made it up.
Okay, the Bearcat became the UC mascot in 1914 in a football game against the UK Wildcats. That'd be the Kentucky Wildcats. Key players in the birth of the Bearcat were a star UC player named Bear, a creative cheerleader, and a talented cartoonist. It's too long a story, but it was because a player had the last name Bear, and they turned it into Bearcats.
So they've been to Bearcats.
Yeah, so there you go.
So once again, does it truly exist?
No, it does not.
It's fictional.
Yeah, and I don't know what they were called before. Where they took the
1914.
field that day when the player named Bear. Don't say what the nickname was before.
Wait, you
so.
said he was a cheerleader and a football player?
He was a player, and then there was a
and
cheerleader
another,
too. Yeah, and then a talented cartoonist.
Cartoonist.
The crowd
yeah,
took up the cry. Okay, all right, I'll tell the whole story. UC cheerleader Norman Pat Lyon, building on the efforts of a fullback named Teddy Bear, created the chant, "They may be Wildcats, but we have a Bearcat on our side."
It's like the lion.
There you go.
The linebacker, yeah.
That's right. And the cartoon, there was a cartoon depicting a bedraggled Kentucky Wildcat being chased by a creature labeled Cincinnati Bearcat. And there you have it, the last time we will ever talk about the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Thank God.
Or maybe the Cowboys have to become the Lion Boys.
Okay.
I don't know. They got a good cornerback this year, Bill.
Oh, the
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's got a
What will be the
cornerback.
last time we will talk about Cincinnati? Trust me.
All right. So I'm about to do a little film session with Will McClay, and I'll get to the bottom of it.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Thank God this is over.
And we will talk at you again on Monday after another Cowboys victory.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!